Good morning, dear students. So, as you know, you have the LEAP exam, right? For that, from biology, you have two chapters. That is for first chapter, life processes, and the second one is the how do organisms reproduce. So, in this video, we will be discussing some sample MCQ from the chapter life processes. So, let's look into the questions. Question number 1. Which of these reactions occur in photosynthesis? Options: A. Carbon dioxide is reduced and water is oxidized. That is, carbon dioxide plus water plus energy from the light produces glucose and oxygen. And the option B. Water is reduced and carbon dioxide is oxidized. Option C. Carbon dioxide and water are oxidized. And option D. Carbon dioxide and water are reduced. So from this, the correct option is option A. Question number 2. A few drops of iodine solution were added to rice water. The solution turned blue-black in color. This indicates rice water has dash. Options: A. Complex proteins. Option B. Simple proteins. Option C. Starch. And option D. Fats. So we know that the iodine test is for the starch, right? So if we add the iodine solution to the rice water, if it contains starch, the color change occurs to blue-black color, right? So it indicates the presence of starch in it. So the correct answer is option C, starch. Next question, which is the correct sequence? Options: A. Mouth, stomach, small intestine, esophagus, large intestine. Option B. Mouth, esophagus, stomach, large intestine, small intestine. Then option C. Mouth, stomach, esophagus, small intestine, large intestine. Option D. Mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestines. So these are the sequence through which the digestive system occurs. It is the digestion occurs. So we know that digestion starts from the mouth, and through esophagus the food will move to the stomach, and from the stomach it will move to the small intestine and then the large intestine. So the digestion completes in the large intestine, right? So the correct option is option D. Question number 4. If salivary amylase is lacking in saliva, which of the event in mouth will be affected? Options: proteins breaking down into amino acids, starch breaking down into sugars, fats breaking down into fatty acids and glycerol. D. Absorption of vitamins. So we know that the saliva secreted by the salivary glands will convert the starch in the food into sugars, right? The starch will be converted into sugars. So the correct option will be option B, that is starch breaking down into sugars. Fifth question, the inner lining of the stomach is protected by one of the following from hydrochloric acid. Choose the correct one. Options: mucus, salivary amylase, pepsin, bile. So the stomach have a protective lining of mucus in order to protect the stomach from the hydrochloric acid, that is HCl, present in our stomach. So the correct answer is option A, mucus. Next question, which part of the alimentary canal receives bile from the river? Options: stomach, small intestine, large intestine and esophagus. So the correct answer is option B, small intestine. So we know that from the liver, the bile will be secreted and it will be received by the small intestine during the digestion, right? So the correct option is option B, small intestine. Next question, choose the function of pancreatic juice from the following. Options: trypsin digest proteins and lipase digest carbohydrates. Option B, trypsin digest emulsified fats and lipase digest proteins. Trypsin and lipase digest fats. Trypsin digest proteins and lipase digest emulsified fats. So from this, correct option is option D, that is trypsin will digest the proteins and lipase enzyme will digest the fat. Okay. And which is the enzyme that digests the carbohydrate? It is the amylase, right? So the correct option is option D. Question number 8. The correct sequence of anaerobic respiration. A. Glucose, pyruvate, lactic acid. B. Glucose, pyruvate, ethanol plus carbon dioxide. Option C. Glucose to pyruvate to ADP to lactic acid. And option D. Glucose to pyruvate to carbon dioxide plus ethanol plus energy. So you know that anaerobic respiration means the respiration that occurs in the absence of oxygen. Then what will be the product? It will be the glucose will be converted into pyruvate and ethanol plus carbon dioxide. So correct option is option B, right? Question number 9. The pancreas pour their secretion into A. small intestine, B. large intestine, C. stomach, D. duodenum. And the correct answer is option D, duodenum. Then question number 10. The opening and closing of stomatal pore depends upon option oxygen, B. God cells, C. concentration of carbon dioxide in stomata, and D. temperature. The correct answer is option B, God cells. So God cells will control the opening and closing of stomatal pore. Question number 11. Which of the statement is correct regarding bile? Options: secreted by duct and stored in liver, secreted by liver and stored in bile duct, secreted by liver and stored in gallbladder, secreted by gallbladder and stored in liver. So we know that the bile is secreted by the liver and it will be stored in a sac-like structure called the gallbladder. So the correct option is option C. Next question. Where are the proteins first digested? So and options are A. small intestine, B. stomach, C. large intestine, D. mouth. And the correct answer is option B, stomach. Okay. Next question. The cellular energy reserves in autotrophs are A. glycogen, B. starch, C. protein, D. fatty acids. So as a part of photosynthesis, the autotrophs, that is the plants, will produce starch, right? And so the energy reserves will be in the form of starch. So the correct answer is option B, starch. Next question. The breakdown of pyruvate into carbon dioxide, energy and water takes place in dash. So options: A. mitochondria, B. cytoplasm, C. endoplasmic reticulum, D. ribosomes. And the correct answer is option A, mitochondria. Next question. What prevents backflow of blood during the contraction? Options: valves in heart, option B. thick muscular wall of ventricles, then thin walls of atria, all the above. So we know that the backflow of blood during the contraction of heart will be prevented by the valves of the heart. Okay, we know that there is two valves in the heart. It will be controlling the backflow of the blood during the contraction. So the correct answer is option A. 16th question. The correct path of urine is dash. Options: kidney, ureter, urethra, urinary bladder, kidney, urinary bladder, urethra and ureter, kidney, ureter, urinary bladder and urethra, urinary bladder, kidney, ureter, urethra. So we know that from the kidney the urine will reach the ureter, from there it will reach the urinary bladder. So urinary bladder, the urine will be stored there and the urine comes out through the urethra. So the correct answer is option C. Question number 17. During deficiency of oxygen in tissues of humans, pyruvic acid is converted into lactic acid in dash. That is, here the anaerobic respiration is taking place. So the options are cytoplasm, chloroplast, mitochondria, Golgi body. So it will occur in the cytoplasm, right? So the answer is option A. Question number 18. Which organelle is called powerhouse of cell? Options: mitochondria, Golgi body, ribosomes, and none of the above. And the correct answer is option A, mitochondria. Question number 19. Write full form of ATP. Options: adenosine diphosphate, adenosine phosphate, adenosine triphosphate, none. And the correct answer is option C, adenosine triphosphate. So ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. The next question. Which of the following statements is true about respiration? So options A, during inhalation, ribs move inward and the diaphragm is raised. Then option B, in the alveoli, exchange of gases takes place. That is, oxygen from alveolar air diffuses into blood and carbon dioxide from blood into alveolar air sacs. And option C, hemoglobin has greater affinity for carbon dioxide than oxygen. Alveoli does not help in increasing surface area for exchange of gases. So from this, we have to select the correct statement about the respiration. So in this, the correct option is option B. Next question, write the correct sequence of air passage involved in inhalation. And the options are option A, larynx, nostrils, pharynx, lungs. Then nostrils, pharynx, larynx, trachea, alveoli. Then C, nasal passage, larynx, trachea, pharynx, alveoli. Then option D, none. So you know that the different parts of respiratory system includes nostrils, pharynx, larynx, trachea, then alveoli. So the correct answer is option B. Then last question, the filtration units of kidney are called dash. And options are urethra, ureter, neuron, nephron. So from this we can say that the correct answer is option D, nephron, because urethra and ureter are part of kidney that holds the urine, right? And neuron is a part of our nervous system. So the correct answer is option D, nephron. So dear students, this is about the questions. So you have to read the questions carefully and you have to prepare well. Okay? So I wish you all the best for your exam. Thank you.